after the concept of the kill line went viral worldwide. It finally triggered an official response from senior figures in the US government. At the Davos Forum, US Treasury Secretary Bessent bluntly admitted that the United States does indeed have a kill line phenomenon. However, he denied that it had anything to do with the Trump administration, instead shifting the blame to the Biden administration, claiming that it was Biden's policies that caused prices to rise by 35% to 37%. During the remainder of his speech, Bessent went on to lavish praise on Trump, talking about how, after taking office, Trump worked hard to lower the cost of living, rebalance tariffs, and so on, going so far as to claim that under Trump, hourly wages for the working class were even higher than those of management. And similar remarks. Just a few days later, Bessent's boss, Donald Trump, also came out to respond to the issue, unveiling what he called a brilliant solution to America's kill line problem. Trump announced that he would build large numbers of insane asylums and psychiatric hospitals, then round up homeless people off the streets and send them all inside.
Signed an executive order to bring back mental institutions and insane asylums. We're gonna have to bring them back. Hate to build those suckers, but you gotta get the people off the streets.
That way, America would no longer have homeless people, and the kill line problem would simply disappear. Yes, exactly. Because homeless people around the world face the problem of being eliminated in large numbers. Trump decided to build massive numbers of asylums, sweep the streets for homeless people, and lock them all up inside. Is this really an asylum, or is it more like a concentration camp? It is true that homeless people living on the streets die at a far higher rate than ordinary people. But once Trump starts rounding them up in bulk and detaining them en masse, this is no longer a kill line. It becomes industrialized, centralized slaughter. The instruction is clear. Detain 100,000 homeless people, detain them until death. At the same time, superiors demand the lowest possible cost of detention. So the question is, what method allows for the lowest cost detention? Don't think Trump is uniquely cold-blooded. Trump represents the will of a group of people. He is merely carrying it out on their behalf. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, the wealthiest and most successful capitalist or entrepreneur in America, has long expressed his views on the homeless problem.
They're downtown Philadelphia right now. You know, they call people homeless, but homeless is the wrong term. Violent drug zombie. Yeah. Okay. It's like, you know, you look at them and say, like, homeless is a misnomer. It implies that someone got a little behind on their mortgage. and if you just offer them a job, they'd be back on their feet.
Yeah.
No, but if you go and look at downtown Philly or San Francisco or parts of New York, and actually most downtowns, what you actually have are violent drug zombies. So they're like shuffling down the street with dead eyes, you know, and with like needles, you know, and human feces on the streets. You've been to downtown SF, right? Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I was born there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Oh yes, the greatest.
And now you have to step over the drug needles and the feces on the bodies. Like one couple I met, the final straw for leaving San Francisco was they came home one night and there's a dead body in front of their garage. They couldn't get their car in. Couldn't park their car.
Because of the court.
And yeah, there's no street parking. They're like, there's a corpse. There's a corpse in front of the garage, and they don't want to move the corpse, you know, because it's like, well, you know, you're like, maybe they need to like figure out why the guy died or something. You know?
That's the space. That's liberal compassion, though.
They're
right
in a bit of a quandary because they got no place to park their car, and they feel that they shouldn't really move the dead body. So they call 911, and so there's a dead body outside our house, and they said, well, the 911 in San Francisco says, well, are you in danger right now? It's like, well, no, he's dead. Pretty sure he's dead. And they're like, okay, we'll send someone tomorrow to pick up the body. I'm like, what do you mean tomorrow? So So they're like going in and out of their house while there's a dead body right in front of their house. You know, and like you said, let's take like 24 hours or something like that to eventually pick up the body. And they're like, how is this? We're leaving.
And did they?
Yeah. By the way, there's a million anecdotes like that.
Oh, I know, but I just don't think
this is not rare.
It's ubiquitous.
First of all, Musk directly denies that these people are homeless. He says that calling them homeless makes it sound as if they merely failed to pay their mortgage. Musk believes that these people are actually the living dead. He essentially invents a new definition. In Musk's view, these homeless people can no longer be considered human. They are corpses that are already dead, but still able to walk. Musk says that if you think giving these people a job will help them get back on their feet, you are wrong. They are addicted to drugs. They are already walking corpses. What's more, Musk talks about all of this while smiling. In a very short span of time, he laughs more than a dozen times. When speaking about these people being eliminated or weeded out, he shows not the slightest sense of shame. He even seems happy. Truly, with a feather fan in hand, talking and laughing as the poor are wiped out into dust. In Musk's eyes, the elimination of homeless people is perfectly normal. That's because Musk is an extreme efficiency absolutist. Not only toward the homeless, he treats his own employees the same way. Those with insufficient efficiency are fired immediately. Those with exceptional efficiency are rewarded lavishly. Within his companies, employees even nickname him a tyrant. If Musk can't tolerate low efficiency from his own employees, how could he possibly tolerate homeless people on the streets? Firing people for insufficient efficiency is Musk's standard management practice at Tesla, Twitter, and his many other companies. So for homeless people with low efficiency, the same logic applies. They are fired. Musk is an extreme believer in American liberalism. He believes everyone is free to do whatever they want and must bear the consequences themselves. Homeless people can choose to live on the streets. They can choose to take drugs. But they must also accept the consequences of those choices, that is, being eliminated. They should not expect others to come save them. This is Musk's worldview, and it's not just Musk. In reality, this is the foundational mindset of American society as a whole. In a capitalist society, everything requires payment, survival resources included. To live in society, at its core, means continuously purchasing survival services from society, and those services must be paid for. America's kill line is essentially the point at which homeless people reach the threshold of payment failure. Once payment stops, society stops providing survival services to them. Just like how a monthly subscription game account is immediately suspended once you stop paying. A person can be poor, but should not deserve to die simply for being poor. This is a moral baseline accepted by almost all classes and people in China. But in America, if someone has no money, shouldn't they die? What use is keeping them alive? Individuals must bear all the consequences of their own failure. This is the other side of liberalism. The two are inseparable, two sides of the same coin. Combined with capitalism's rule that everything must be paid for, this creates a highly efficient kill line system. Why were you eliminated? Who told you not to work hard enough? In one of the earlier Musk videos, he mentioned a couple who returned home at night and found the corpse of a homeless person lying in front of their garage. Their biggest concern was not the death itself, but where are we supposed to park our car? They showed not the slightest interest in the dead homeless person, let alone any compassion. The police weren't interested either. They said they would come deal with it the next day. As a result, the body lay in front of the garage for an entire day. After hearing this story, the journalist interviewing Musk not only found it perfectly reasonable and natural, but even failed to hold back and laugh cheerfully. Yes, Musk told this as a joke, and the interviewer listened to it as a joke. In American culture, this is the kind of light, after-dinner entertainment people laugh about. It really is a great American joke. Not only is it real, but it's even more classic than the Soviet jokes Americans used to make up. But in Musk's joke, an American died miserably, on the ground in front of someone else's garage. His body left there with no dignity, ignored by everyone. Which Chinese official or wealthy person would dare to laugh about something like this on camera? Dare to treat the death of a Chinese homeless person in front of someone's garage as a joke? If such a video were released in China, that person would be torn apart by public outrage and suffer complete social death. But in America, nothing happens. From Musk to the journalist, to the audience, everyone thinks this is perfectly normal. Because they believe those homeless people are lazy, drug addicted, beyond saving pure negative assets to society. Investing resources to save them is meaningless and only drags others down. Their death is a good thing, something to be happy about. In 2022, a San Francisco resident filmed San Rafael police officers dumping a homeless person near his home, and he called the police. Afterward, the San Rafael Police Department issued an apology apologizing to the city of San Francisco. Lieutenant Scott Eberl stated, "We dropped this homeless person in San Francisco, causing San Francisco's resources to be occupied and wasted. For this, we sincerely apologize to the San Francisco community, the neighborhood, and the staff who had to deal with the matter." They rounded up homeless people from their own jurisdiction and drove them to dump them in another city. After being caught red-handed, they shamefully apologized not to the homeless person, but to their counterparts in another city for wasting that city's resources. When an entire society views homeless people as pure negative value, the question becomes unavoidable. Are homeless people human beings? Are they worth saving? Must they really be systematically and slowly eliminated? In reality, these people can be saved, they do not have to die. But the prerequisite is this: America itself must be transformed, fundamentally reshaped into something else. America's homeless people are also Americans. Most are US citizens. And many were once middle-class. No matter how they ended up homeless, they should not die. They should be helped by every possible means because to Americans, they are still fellow citizens. A couple finds a corpse lying in front of their garage. Their first reaction is not fear, not sympathy, but a worried question. So, where do we park the car? Even satirical writers could not produce something this dark. It is truly beyond inhuman. And to still laugh while talking about it, that is simply unimaginable.